Hello, my friends, and welcome to tonight's episode of The Chronicle, a D&D 5e adventure here on Tabletop Rolls. First of all, if you guys are watching us on YouTube on our VOD, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps us a lot. And if you're here live on Twitch, don't forget to say hi in chat, and if you want a chance to become an NPC in this show, tweet it out with the hashtag CCTTR. Tweet about the show with that hashtag and you could become an NPC in this world. And I promise it won't be a villainous one. Unless you ask for it. But with that being said, let's get into some announcements. Number 1. We have a couple new shows on the channel. Specifically on Saturday nights, at the same time slot as these shows, at 7 p.m. PST, 9 p.m. CST, we have a new anime podcast. So if you want to come sit down with myself, McKenna, Shai, Nathan, and guesting this week will be the wonderful Matthew from our Wednesday night game who plays Chip. We're going to talk about some of our worst anime we've seen, as well as some of the most overrated anime we've seen. So come have a seat at the ramen shop and have some conversation. Then on Sunday nights now, we have a new show where we're going through the Dragon Age games in preparation for the new Dragon Age that should be coming out sometime this year. I'm playing through them in the most story-friendly way, so you guys will get a really cool plotline coming. It's highly fun, and you've missed the stream where I've spent 2 hours clicking the same button to hit max level in Dragon Age Origins before leaving the first town. So, you don't have to sit through that grind, although people did. So thank you.
It was fun. It was fun to watch you, absolutely destroy that game.
Yeah. And then on Wednesday night, of course, we have the League of Amazing Adventurers. Join us as they go into the Magiscard Wastes this week. That's going to be fun. You'll get to see a creature that I've made called the Arcane Ghoul.
The what?
The Arcane Ghoul. They also exist in this world, because I've created them for both Pathfinder and D&D 5e, and if you want access to that stat block when it gets used, you can join our Discord. And if you join our Discord, which I'm going to post a link to join right now, you'll have access to be able to see those stat blocks, which is very cool. So you'll be able to use those in your own games, and, kill your friends with monsters that I've made.
Always fun.
Yeah, it's always a good time. But other than that, that's all the announcements for the channel that we have. So we'll jump in with introductions for our players right after we roll the intro for this game. Once again, created by Matt, our head graphic design and animator here at Tabletop Rolls. Let's roll it. So, of course, tonight, I am joined by our cast for the Chronicle, and this is going to be our first episode. So let's introduce the cast. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to just go down the line. You guys are going to introduce yourself and your character and give a short character description. So let's start with McKenna, and we'll work our way down.
Alright, my name is McKenna Raytinen. I do the art on this channel for the most part. Whatever Matt does not do, I typically do all the character tokens and stuff. Tonight I'm playing Finnegan Calder. She is a shifter ranger, Drake Warden, although not yet. She doesn't quite have a Drake to ward just yet, but maybe in a few levels we'll see.
All right.
How's that chat?
Why don't you tell us a little bit about your character and where we can find you on the internet?
Awesome. So my name is Monasia. For those who didn't watch my prologue, I am playing Lucky, which is a Tabaxi rogue. She is very much your Robin Hood-esque type of character where it's for the good of the people. mostly. And you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at TheMonasia_Smith.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And, of course, thank you for the follow, No Longer Chaos. Rosalie, why don't you jump in for us next?
Of course. My name is Rosalie Dirk, and I am playing Adenia. She's a human card caster, which is a super fun class that lets me cast spells via tarot cards. And she wants to use her foresight and abilities to make her home a better place for everyone.
Nice. You love to see it. And last, but certainly not least, we have our paladin. Chad, why don't you introduce yourself?
All right, yeah, I'm Chad Behana, and I'm playing Zolam Acacia. He's a Naga paladin, and as could be seen in the prologue, his motivations for turning paladin might not be exactly on the level.
Everyone loves a bit of an Avenger paladin. Personally, I'm a Retribution paladin myself, but that's just in World of Warcraft.
World of Warcraft.
We are going to get things started now with a little bit of non-linear storytelling. So we're going to actually go a little bit back in time from the last prologue, all the way to when Calder first came onto the ship. So Calder, we are once again back just off of the coast of Thalmain. So for our lovely audience, I'll zoom in onto the map right over here. We're just off the coast of Thalmain. You've been brought onto the ship. Zalatesh is kind of like, yes, we'll just wait right here. The captain will be here in a moment to introduce themselves. And walking basically down from the wheel as some crewman has taken it is a Goliath of a man, because they are a Goliath. They're a little bit under 7 feet tall. And he walks down. He's like, hello there. It's very nice to meet you. My name is Tiny. I'm the captain of our ship here, the Omen Chaser. And they kind of like hold out their hand. It's like, yes, I realize my name is Tiny and I am very large. That is because of the fact that I am actually the smallest one in my family.
Well met, Tiny.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I hope you'll enjoy your little cruise on our ship. I have to get back to the helm. However, my first mate, Raylonda, will gladly show you around the ship. And he kind of like says, Raylonda! And coming down basically like via a rope from the crow's necks is a human woman who has this like long sort of brown hair that's been put up in a variety of sort of like ties with like fabric and bandana things. And she kind of like lands there as Tiny begins to walk off, and she says, yes, hello, my friend. It's very nice to meet you. My name is Raylonda. I am the first mate and head navigator of the ship. I will show you to your room. Zalatesh, you know where you stay, so you can go there. Zalatesh will kind of wave and walk off. Myself, will show you around. Here is the deck of the ship. You are free to be here whenever you would like to be. Just please stay out of the way of the crewmates who look like they're doing important things. And if you see anyone sort of leaning over the ship sickly, that's most likely Mirask. He's not quite gotten his sea legs yet, but he is trying his best.
Well, good for him. Gonna avoid him. Thank you for the heads up. Well, how do you do, Raylonda?
Very well. So, let's see, what should I show you first? First of all, you are from Thalmain, yes?
Yeah.
Alright then, and she kind of waves her hands a bit, and a small flower crown of flowers natural to Thalmain will just kind of show up there. So like, pop it onto your head. I hope you like it. Let's show you around. So, upper decks of the ship, you're free to hang out here. The crow's nest is very nice. I highly recommend it. Although if you're not good at climbing things, it might be a little bit difficult for you to get up and down there, just so you know. Then
Not terrible.
she'll kind of like lead you towards like a sort of stairwell that goes down into like the main galley of the ship. This is the main galley. Here you'll find food and other things, as well as the corridor to your chambers. This is right over there. Mine are right over there. If you need anything, please let me know. I will gladly be at your service. And
Excellent.
let's see, other than that, I think I should introduce you to Boulain. Yes, and she'll kind of like lead you to like the forward aft of the ship under the deck. And there's like a very large area that's been kind of cordoned off by fabric and things. This is Boulain's office. They are the ship's medic and healer. And then walking out will be a Aasimar, a humanoid Aasimar. These sort of like glowing white eyes. Like, hello, if you ever need anything, please, I can help you in both medical and clerical arts. And obviously on his chest there's a holy symbol of Sigkama.
To what?
Sigkama, the god of summer.
Thank you. All right.
After that, Rolanda kind of continues. Yes, so if you have any questions, any requests, please let me know. Otherwise, the ship is yours. You are on your calling. I've noticed that much. So this crew is very much from around the world. I myself am from Fueldon. It's the continent to the southeast of here. We have our captain is from Durvamorn. That's to the northwest. And Mirisk is from Thal. We'll be heading there shortly. And then she kind of just says, so if you have any questions about places, I know you are on your calling, so there may be places you want to see. Well, we have locals. We have a very well-traveled crew if you have questions. She kind of smiles.
Oh, nice. So where'd you pick up the flower crown trick?
I picked that up from my family. They taught me a little bit of something when I was living at home. I mostly keep storms away from the ship, and she kind of like leads you back up towards like the deck, and she'll point up to like a cloud in the distance. She'll kind of like wave her hands, and the cloud will start floating the other way. I mostly keep the weather clear for the ship and the wind blowing in a good direction.
Huh. Handy.
Yes, very much so. Anyway, I have a few more duties to get to, so if you do not need anything else, I will leave you be. You're free to wander as you wish.
Then I will wander as I wish, and I will wander directly to my room. I just want to see the accommodations.
It's a small room. It's only about 10 feet by 10 feet. And there's a bed, a porthole, a nice dresser, and a wardrobe.
Nice. Anything in the wardrobe?
Nothing in the wardrobe. Space, the final frontier. Oh, wait.
All right. Well, then I'm going to settle in. I don't really have that much stuff with me, so I have my haversack, and everything else is just kind of survival stuff.
That's fair.
Well, then I'm gonna see if I can't track down a fishing pole
Yeah, you can.
and see if I can't rustle up some food.
Yeah, you're free to fish against the moving boat. Zalatesh, as you sit down to fish, will kind of point out, you know we're moving. Right? You know what? Never mind. He just walks off.
I feel like Calder has somehow procured like one stalk of wheat and is like chewing on it. She's just like a hat pulled down over her face, has the fishing line going with the little stick out of her mouth. She's just straight vibing.
Fair enough. It's a day will pass, and you will find yourself on the docks of Mathal. You spend the night there, and in the morning, a new person is brought onto the ship. It is Lucky. Lucky, you go through the same sort of like entry of being introduced to Tiny. Hello there, my name is Tiny. It's very nice to meet you. I realize that I am very large for my name. I assure you is because I am the smallest one in my family.
Okay.
Otherwise, Raylanda will show you around the ship. Please enjoy yourself. And he walks off, and then Raylanda gives you the same tour. And then eventually, you find yourself sort of wandering about the deck of the ship, and fishing off of it is this person that Zalatesh has pointed out as another person who's been working with you guys. What would you like to do?
So I see this person fishing.
Yep.
I guess I'll walk up to them and say, you know we're moving, right?
I mean, fish move too, don't they?
Yeah, but you're not gonna just. Never mind. Never mind. Hi, I'm Lucky.
Lucky, nice to meet you. I'm Calder.
Nice to meet you, Calder. Are you
Also,
here for the?
Sorry, Will, have I caught anything yet? I had to ask.
Do I recognize Calder's mark?
Well, it depends. Calder, are you keeping your calling mark visible or not?
Oh, I'll keep it visible. I'm not wearing gloves or anything.
Then yes, you can easily recognize it as a mark of the calling.
Yeah.
So I point out, I assume you're here for the same reason that I am?
Yep, Zalatesh had a job for me, and I got my calling on the job. And now I'm headed to Peelhearth. How about you?
Very similar. Zalatesh hired me for a job, and in the middle of the job, I had this like visitation, I guess. Now my eyes messed up forever, and I'm also headed to Peelhearth, actually.
I mean, it's not forever, and personally, I think it looks a little bit badass, but to each their own.
Thank you. You know, I try to keep my business a little private, and it's kind of hard to keep it private when everyone's just staring at your eye, you know?
Well, you know, we are on a ship. I'm sure you could find an eye patch somewhere.
You know, I'll be on the lookout. I'll look out for that, for sure.
I'm hungry. How about you?
If you catch us some fish, I'll be very impressed.
I would love some fish right now.
It's at that moment that you feel a bite on the pole.
Fuck. I'm reeling it in.
You're reeling it in.
What do I gotta roll?
It appears to be a piece of seaweed that caught on the hook.
Oh, man.
Wordlessly throw my line back out.
I forgot, did my mom give me like a bunch of food to take with me, right?
Yes, she definitely gave you. She definitely did the mom thing of like just like all the food that would keep just giving it to you and be like, here you go, here's some snacks.
Right. So I would pull out my pack and be like, you know, this might be a little quicker. Do you want some, Calder? It's fresh. I just got it from my mom, and she's a pretty good cook.
Are you offering me a home-cooked meal, Lucky?
Only if you're accepting. If not, then it's going to be very awkward.
Friends. We are going to be good friends, you and me. I'll take whatever she's giving me. I don't even know what it is.
And yeah, I think as you guys begin to enjoy your meal together, we'll kind of fade out of that scene and come to another one a little bit later on the ship. Lucky, you find yourself sitting basically down below decks for a little bit of time. It's just after a meal, so maybe you're relaxing a bit. And out from their office, Bolane will come out, the ASMR healer of the ship. He'll notice you, say, yes, Lucky, I believe it was, yes?
Yes.
How are you feeling? I know some people tend to get a little bit seasick when they first come onto a ship. I myself was quite affected by it for a short time. If you'd like, I have a little tincture for that.
I think I'm doing all right, and just ate, and everything's, you know, staying down, which is a good sign, I assume. So yes, I think I'm okay.
That is a very good sign. Okay, good. You're from Mathal, yes?
I am.
We picked you up there, I assumed. How is the city nowadays? I haven't been there. Well, I haven't set foot in there in a few years.
You know, it's pretty much the same. You have those who are doing what they need to do to take care of the city, including myself, and, you know, operations run.
Oh, were you a guards person? That's a very noble job.
No, I'm not a guard.
Oh, he visibly like thinks for a moment, and then he says, "The weight of gold is light." No.
I'm sorry, what?
The heavy is the weight of gold. Can't remember.
I'm afraid I don't know what you mean.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of just smiles. Well, if you'd like, I have. He kind of like goes back for a moment, and brings out this like little tea set, a little bit of Metholian tea if you're interested. Kind of like pours it in.
Oh, yes, that would be great. I might get a little homesick. I haven't really been, too far from home before.
Oh, well, this will be quite the adventure for you then.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be an adventure. That's the correct term.
He kind of takes a sip of his tea, hands you a cup. He says, yes, I joined this ship as part of my calling. I kind of paid my way, and I learned medical arts from throughout the world while traveling with them. It was quite... I stayed on afterwards.
Wow. Any advice for someone pursuing their calling?
Be open to people. I was very closed off at the very beginning of my calling, as many people from Mythol can be.
Mm-hmm.
Trust in the people you're traveling with. Try to find some nice party to adventure with. So far, I mean, that Calder person seems quite capable, though, fishing on a moving boat. But...
Yeah, sure. Well, trusting people isn't always my specialty. I tend to keep a very tight circle, but I mean...
well, nothing is
we'll
tighter
see.
than a party of adventurers.
Just chuckles wryly and sips her tea.
And yeah, they'll kind of like sit there for a few moments in silence. Oh.
This is very good. Thank you again.
Oh, thank you. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you ever have any things that you'd like to talk about. I'm also kind of the morale officer of the ship, so if you ever get homesick, let me know. We can have a chat about the good old place of Mythol. Drinks more tea.
Your company so far has been very appreciated, so thank you.
Well, I'm happy to help out. Also, do you have any plans? Like, I know you have to go to Peelhoth to begin your calling, but have anything in particular you're going to see after that?
Like I said, I've never really been much out of home, so I'm kind of excited to see everything. My best friend back home is a dragonborn, so I really kind of want to see the dragon nests eventually. But I do also have business back home that I need to take care of, and so kind of split,
Oh, that's fair. I understand that. Well, if you're interested in the dragon nests, I would highly recommend. There is an archipelago in the Sea and Sky archipelago. One of the dragon nests is actually on a floating sky island.
My goodness, that must be a sight.
Yes, there's a large sort of river that falls down from it that, using magical enchantment, some ships that are native to the archipelago can kind of sail up it. But it is a beautiful sort of blue dragon city. It's gorgeous. I've only gotten to see it once, but if you're interested in those places,
Wow.
I'd recommend that one.
Wow, definitely check it out. Maybe Calder would know something about it too.
Yes, perhaps. I do not know Calder's knowledge on drakes, if it's anything like fish, well, drinks the tea.
Well, yeah.
Sips tea.
She'll catch on.
Yeah.
She'll catch on eventually.
And yeah, with that, we'll fade out of that scene, and then another kind of day will pass, and you guys will pull into this like twilight desert city called the Half-Light Ebb. And that sort of night, Zalatesh returns to the ship with Adenia in hand. Zalatesh looks exhausted, and like upon entering the ship, he says, "I'm 3 for 3 for being attacked. I'm thinking I'm bad luck," and he just walks down to his room. Oh, right.
He's having a day.
Adenia, Lucky, Calder, Adenia, hired them on as well. Good day.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Hi, Lucky. Pleasure.
Adenia.
Fine.
It's at that moment that Tiny comes walking down from the captain's area. Hello there. I'm the captain of the ship, the Omen Chaser. My name is Tiny. I realize that's a very odd name for someone in my size. Trust me, I'm the smallest one in my family.
I believe you.
Kind of like pulls out his hand.
course. And she
takes your hand and then puts his other hand to like a big old like hulking handshake. Raylanda will show you around the ship. Otherwise, have a good evening. I'm going to get back to work. And he kind of walks off.
Okay.
It can be a bit overwhelming.
I have to admit, it's my first time on a ship, and I am just a little nervous.
Well, you get used to it, I'd say. It's my first time too, so.
Good to hear.
It's at that
Do I have any food left?
Sure, you can have a couple bits left.
This tends to settle your stomach, I say, as I offer her some food.
Thank you. I'm sure it'll help. Your kindness is very appreciated.
Yeah, no problem. Don't mention it.
It's at that moment that Raylanda kind of like plops down, says, "All right, so hello there, my name is Raylanda. I'm going to give you a short little introduction to the ship, if you would just follow me. Miss Adenia."
Of course.
All right. She kind of like holds out her hand and will kind of whisk you away and give you a tour of the ship. That night, while you're unpacking your things, you will find, with a note attached to it, a small box of cards in your backpack.
Oh.
Attached to it is a note that says, "I couldn't let you head out without a gift, but I knew you would feel a little bit guilty if I gave you one. So I just put it in your pack. Enjoy."
Lydia.
And here it is. This is the deck of illusions.
Ooh.
Chad, your face. Just immediately went.
It is not a deck of many things.
It's a deck of illusions.
Deck of illusions.
Ah.
Does it do anything fancy?
I put it into your journal. It creates physical illusions of things.
Oh, I see.
So you can read that for yourself. But otherwise, we will jump over to the next day, where within the sort of galley of the ship, once again, after a meal, you will find Lucky kind of like sitting in a chair. Lucky, what would you be doing to relax on the ship right after a meal?
Lucky would probably be sharpening a weapon of some sort, or like that's what she would be doing.
Fair enough. So, what would you like to do?
Lucky, me?
Either one of you.
I mean, are we all just hanging out? Just like after we're eating? Are we separate from each other?
I mean, currently, it's yourself and Adenia in the room where this is happening.
Gotcha. So, first day, how's it been?
You know, I'm settling in. I think I'm gonna be okay. I already missed land. I should have brought a jar of sand or something just to remind me.
I'm sure
I
you'll.
hope we don't sink.
I think we'll be fine for the most part. Where are you from again?
I live in the Half-Light app. Have you ever been?
No, I haven't really left my home actually much.
Where are you from?
It's a really small area. I don't know if you may have heard of it, Mathal.
Oh, I can't say I know it. I haven't really gotten out of the desert much.
What's it like in the desert? Is it like super hot there?
You know, in most places it's very hot during the day, very cold at night, but the Half-Light ad itself is enchanted. and it's almost perfect all the time.
Oh, wow. So you've really like never been on the major body of water, huh?
No, it's been sand and a few oases.
Well, I find that you feel a little bit better if you know how to protect yourself. Like, do you know how to swim?
Swim? No.
No swimming.
I can't say I've ever had
Okay.
that much
Well,
water.
I'm going to recommend that you try not to drown and that you just kick your legs. I think that's like the best thing for you. Not that we're going to go overboard or, sink or anything. I just think that you better safe than sorry. I'm not helping, am I?
Oh, no. That's certainly more helpful than not knowing to kick.
Yeah, kicking's great.
I promise I'm usually more self-assured than this. This is just a very new and uncontrollable situation.
I can imagine that moment now. I can imagine like Calder kind of just like walking in to hear that exchange.
I like poke my head in. It helps if you use your arms too while you kick. It's like a twofer. You do a little bit of this, maybe a little bit of this.
Yeah.
Something
like that. Sure.
Or you just float on your back, focus on breathing, and don't move at all. Yeah. That's like the cheater's way to swim.
One of the nameless crewmen comes into the area as they're like packing away dishes and things, and he says, "I myself prefer the butterfly." And it's just like sort of like short blonde-haired guy. And he's like, it's like that, except you just move your arms, and he keeps on working after that.
Bit advanced for a newbie.
A beginner, yeah. Maybe not that, but kicking in arms is definitely key.
I should have learned how to swim before I got on a boat.
I don't think we're going to be on the boat for long anyway. And, the likelihood of us actually having anything bad happen in the matter of the days we're going to be here is very low. So I think you're fine.
Yeah, super low. Like practically no chance of anything bad happening on the ship ever at all.
Yeah.
I'm just going to consult my cards. I'm sure I'll feel better.
Rose, do you consult your cards like in that table, or do you go back to your room to do it?
She could put them out right there. Why not?
Yeah. So
let's see. We'll do just one card.
A beautiful tarot deck that gets popped out.
Boop. Draw one card. What do we get? We have the Emperor.
Ooh, it's the Emperor.
And
whoop, this is what the
stability, dependability, protectiveness. This is good. This is a good sign.
Yeah. Do you feel better?
I do, actually. This will be a good trip.
I think so too.
Alrighty then. It's kind of like after a few more moments of light conversation, people kind of begin to make their way in there. A couple of the crewmen kind of look over to you, Calder, and ask if you want to try fishing with them for a little bit.
I'm gonna try a new tactic. I just start collecting rope, like bits and scraps from around the ship, and fashioning a bit of a net. You attach that to like a long rope, wrap it around the side a couple times and, toss it over, let it drag behind the ship. It's not a particularly big net, but it is a net.
So you throw the net out and you begin with these two crew people having that happen. And as you do, you begin to feel like some tugging, like you're getting stuff like getting caught in the net, and then you feel it all like tugging in the same direction together. And as you're pulling back, you feel a sudden release of pressure. And as you pull out the net, it's just like been opened up.
What in the Sam hell? Son of a bitch. And I get some more rope and I go busy myself tying it back together and throwing it over again.
And as you're kind of packing up your cards, Rose, stumbling out of the room, looking very very seasick, will be an elven man. He's kind of like stumbling down the hallway, like holding the wall. Oh dear. Food. Minimum requirement for survival. He kind of begins like holding up against it. Attached to his like side, there's like these two massive book bags. He sits down at the table. Oh, that was a trial and a half. Looks over to you two.
Are you all right?
I'm fine. Just a little bit seasick. My name is Mirask. It's a pleasure to meet you all.
Is there anything we can do to help you feel more at ease?
Kill me?
Is there anything else?
Not particularly. Quite honestly, I'm hoping for the sweet embrace of... And the ship kind of, like, does a little bit of heaves, like, oh, death! Mm. Oh, dear. The things we do for research. He ends sobbing into a book.
I think at this point, Raja pokes his little head out from her cowl, and she just, like, gives him a little pat on the head, and she's like, it's okay. So you see a little brown mouse stick its little head out.
Cute.
Hypothetical
Adorable.
question. How does Raja react to seeing the literal large cat sitting there?
As soon as he notices the cat, he, like, eeps and ducks right back into the cowl.
That's funny.
Did I notice that at all?
Yeah,
You can roll
definitely
perception.
Oh, goodness. It's just a stereotype.
See, there's nothing to fear. Lucky wouldn't hurt you.
Yeah, not intentionally.
And she, like, pulls him out and, like, holds him out. See, it's okay.
It's at that moment that Miresk will kind of like speak up again. Okay, I'm going to go back to my room and sleep another day off. He kind of like stands up. The ship heaves a bit. He falls flat on his butt.
Do you need like a bucket? Do you need someone to help you?
No, I'm fine. Gets up. Ship heaves again. Falls on his face. Stands
Lucky's
up.
gonna help him.
Has a bit of a nosebleed.
Oh, God.
I do
This is
apologize. I apologize for my inadequacy on this ship. I am not one to enjoy time on moving vessels.
I understand. And sympathize.
Thank you. And he, with your help, Lucky, I'm sure will hobble their way into their room. And like when you open the door to his room, it's filled with books. Like there's a desk that just has like a book and he's been writing in it clearly. It's just absolutely a scholar's room. It's like,
Got it. It looks like you can keep yourself busy and distracted, yeah?
yes, I'm researching the trials of the gods. Oh, dear.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm just gonna place you here in your book cave and yeah, feel better. Let us know if you need anything, I guess.
Yes, of course. Thank you very much. If you ever have any questions about the trials of the gods, please hit me up, as they say. As he
Okay.
falls face first onto his bed, and you just hear some light sobbing. I hate
Oh my god.
boats, but I need to travel to do work.
Lucky just like slowly, awkwardly closes the door and like just backs away.
Lucky, make me a perception check as you're closing the door.
Oh God. Okay. I always get so nervous.
You'll be fine. This is the first
Perception?
first roll.
I know. This is not great.
An 8. You
That's
do
not
not
great.
notice anything in particular as you close the door. Oh, fair enough.
a little grossed out, to be quite honest. So
Yes.
makes sense.
Oh, but Urbanov just gave you a hero point, so if you'd like, you can re-roll that, or you can save it for later.
Oh, I mean, it's early. I think I'm gonna save it. Thank you.
Then a few more days will pass, and the weather will become noticeably warmer as you make your way towards the Sea and Sky Archipelago. In the distance, you'll see a variety of sky islands and regular islands, and you will eventually come to a very large island with a big garrison on it. During that day, you will, as you from the ship, you will see this roaring large dragonic X creature kind of landing onto the ship, dragon scorpion looking thing. Not into the ship, into the garrison. You will all see that from the ship. And then about 2 hours later, walking back will be Zalatesh with this large snake person with him. Zalatesh walks onto the ship. He looks at the three of you and he says, "We're 4 for 4. That one was particularly scary. If we could, I'd like to have a sort of meeting, as I think we'll be heading to Peelhoth next."
Did you perchance go to do a job with Zalatesh and then get on your Colin?
He was there while I was doing other things.
Aw, look at you, you little good luck charm, you.
Is this a habit?
It would appear so. It would appear so.
I try not to make it a habit, and he kind of begins walking down. "After you get the tour, Zolam, please come to my cabin. The rest of you, please join me now. Have work to discuss." And yeah, at that moment, Zolam, walking down from the deck of the ship, the top deck, will be a very large Goliath of a man. "Hello there." He kind of holds out his hand. "My name is Tiny. It's nice to meet you. I'm the captain of the Omen Chaser, our ship. Now, I realize that my name is Tiny and I'm very large, but I assure you I'm the smallest of my family."
Good to know.
Adine and I are both doing his little speech. We're standing behind him, doing the speech behind him.
And as you're doing that, Raylonda's already there and she notices and she's just pissing herself. She's like... And every now and then, and I'm Tiny will turn around at that. Anyway,
blank face.
I'm going to get back to work. It's very nice to meet you. Please enjoy your stay. Raylonda will give you a tour of the ship. And he walks away.
Yeah, it's kind of just overwhelmed by all of that at once.
Fair enough. Raylonda proceeds to introduce herself. "Hello there. My name is Ray... Oh, hello there. Hello there. My name is Raylonda. It's very nice to meet you. Here, let me show you around the ship, and they'll give you a sort of whirlwind tour."
Yeah.
After that, she'll say, "Yes, here is Zalatesh's cabin. And it's the largest cabin, in the below decks. It's about 20 feet by 20 feet. And basically, sitting behind a desk is Zalatesh, and on basically there's 4 chairs in the room, one for each of y'all. You're free to take your seats as you wish. On the desk is a bag that Zalatesh has been carrying with him this entire time. It's the one that's been on his belt pouch. It says, good, Zolam, you've joined us. Please come on in."
I go in, but I don't exactly use a chair so much as myself to just kind of get in a position.
Just coil up on the floor.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh.
Good to know. Zolam, I've realized that we've only known each other for a short time, but these will be your traveling companions and our traveling companions for at least the time being. If you'd all like to introduce yourselves to each other. Now, everyone's here, I believe. We're going to be heading to Peelhoth. We shouldn't pick up anyone else along the way, so...
Well, I do have a fishing net. Who knows? Maybe there's a mermaid who's on there calling, too.
You know, they do eat... you know what? Never mind. And Zalatesh will kind of let the introductions suffice.
if they haven't gotten into a fight with this one, they're probably not here for us.
Zolan, why don't you... Zalatesh will kind of like look up and say, Zolan, why don't you begin by introducing yourself to the group?
I'm Zolam Acacia from the Sea and Sky Archipelago. And kind of tilts his head up and runs his hand over the kind of scarred into the scales calling sign. And this was an hour or so new.
Well, congratulations. Name's Calder. Nice to meet you. You are the first snake I've ever been able to shake hands with.
There's not many.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Hey, I'm Lucky. Also got my calling if you couldn't tell. You are not the first Dragonborn that I've met, so it's nice to kind of feel a little familiarity, I guess.
Not quite dragon, but I suppose similar enough.
I'm Adenia. Nice to meet you. I'm also on my calling, and she like turns so you can see the mark on her back.
Now, this entire time, Zolam's eyes are closed. And the scales around his eyes are scarred. So his eyes are closed the entire time.
Calder doesn't ask any questions. She's just gonna assume that's your business.
It's at that moment Zalatesh kind of pipes up and says, yes, good, introductions, done. So let's talk a little bit about the work. Now, I've hired each of you as guards for myself to take me to, and this is now where I begin to move the map like a true pro, Garen's Cross, which is where we will be delivering the items I have here in question, holds up the bag, to my benefactor. Now, upon my delivery there, you will each be given 100 gold pieces.
You'll love to see it.
Sounds good.
We are delivering these jewels, and he kind of like empties out the bag, and there are 4 jeweled sort of flower petals on the desk now. These are parts of a magical artifact that my client is trying to collect. These are the things that we are trying to protect. These are the most important things to protect. When we reach Torsenveld, we are going to actually have a cart waiting for us that has a number of boxes and things. They are all empty. All that matters in all of our stuff is this bag.
Good to know.
With that being said, and he kind of begins to like fall into like Calder's dialect, I would like to point out to all of y'all that we're going to be having to stay in Peelhearth for about a week for your calling to settle. And he like stops and he says, I apologize. Part of my bloodline does that to me sometimes.
Oh, no, you're going to have to elaborate on that, sir.
Oh, I'm part Kenku.
Oh. Get in.
Yeah, so I have a bit of a polyglot. Very helpful for trade. If you sound similar to the person that you're talking to, they're often a little more off guard with you.
That's true. Interesting.
But I do apologize.
Very interesting.
I do try to keep my neutral voice when I'm in good company. And then he kind of like sits for a moment, looks up to all of you again. So I know many of you don't know your calling and very much about the calling. Zolam, you probably would know the most out of all of them, being a person of the cloth. Essentially, when we get to Peelhearth, you will have to spend a week there for your calling to officially begin. Peelhearth is actually very well known for people beginning their calling there. It's sort of a prime spot the gods send people to. So look forward to that. They have a sort of ritual that they send people through, and it's very fun. But other than
What
that...
kind of ritual should we be Should we be concerned?
Oh no, it's just a sort of like, here's a nice memento from the start of your calling. Here's a really good meal. Here's some information from a former knight of the Summer Order. It's just helpful, I find. They tried to make a good impression on the people who start there, so the gods will look favorably upon the town. You know how it is.
Yeah.
But other than that, once we reach Garen's Cross, we'll meet with my client. You'll get your payment, and quite honestly, if you'd like to continue working with me, I believe after I deliver these 4, there's 5 more that will need to be collected. So if you'd like to continue working with me then, we'll be traveling around. Otherwise, the world will be your oyster, so they say.
Very nice.
It's at that moment that you all feel the ship visibly lurch.
Not a fan of that.
And as you kind of look outside, you notice that heavy storm clouds have suddenly come in.
Raylonda
Comes running
poke my
down,
head out the door.
opens the door. If you don't mind having a little bit of a thing here, I'm kind of out of druidic power for the day, and there's quite a large storm approaching, so it's all hands on deck.
Oh, joy.
I would like
Excellent.
look to I keep forgetting your name, sorry. Aaron, Rose,
Adenia.
Adenia, thank you. Sorry. So sorry about that. I would like look to you in concern. Like, are you okay?
She definitely looks a little nervous, a little less than she was before since she consulted her cards and like they said, you're gonna be safe, girl. So
And as
So
you're saying that,
it's gonna be
Raylon just kind of
okay.
looks, yes, and we do need all the help we can get. Otherwise, I hope you're a good swimmer. And she starts running upstairs.
Kicking in arms.
Kicking in arms.
Calder kind of laughs a little bit and says, "Good luck," and kind
so-
of runs after Raylonda.
It is all hands on deck. We'll start with McKenna. McKenna, what did you do to help out the ship during this time?
All right. Well, I guess what needs to be done, if there are riggings that need tying down, if there are sails that need letting loose.
It's a little bit of
decent at
everything.
knot
Like
tying.
basically any spot on the ship that you can think to help on, there's a thing for you to do to help.
Sure. Then I will. Yeah, I'll get up in the riggings because Calder strikes me as the type who's like decent with knot tying.
All right, fair enough. Calder, you're getting knot tying. Up there helping you out is Raylondra. She's kind of like going a little bit higher than you, a little bit quicker, and like securing the sails and such.
Sounds good.
Otherwise, you're able to just help out with that. I'm more interested in what your character would be doing during this situation than whether you're successful or not, just because it's just a curiosity thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, she's definitely helping out and jumping around in the riggings and whatnot because she has, decent acrobatics, and that's probably where she'd run to first.
You see Mirisk trying to like tie stuff down on the deck of the ship, but he's just like, he's real struggling. Like
I lean over to Raylonda and just say, "Do we really need all hands on deck?"
She looks down. Oh dear, Mirski. I'll go and she kind of like slides down after she finishes the one and just leads Mirski downstairs.
Oh, Mireski. What are we gonna do with you?
Malaysia, what you got? What are you doing to help out with the ship?
So honestly, Lucky probably be a little concerned with Adenia and wanting to help her in case like she's starting to feel like super overwhelmed by the fact that she's on a boat and on a storm. So she would want to help her.
All right. You know what? Let's. If you're okay, Rosalie, with doing that scene, let's do that scene. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, that's fine by me.
Cool. So yeah, you are kind of in the precipice of like the deck to the lower deck, and there's a massive storm going on. The clouds above you are dark, and like sheets of rain are falling down. The wind is blowing.
Yeah, this is all new.
It is like a less frozen Let It Go out here.
This is
So
the Frozen
Lucky
2.
would like
Yes.
Lucky's gonna like take off her hooded cape, and like that would be the first thing she do. Like, this is rain, it's wet, it's gross, but this should keep you somewhat protected. So wear this over you.
Okay.
She over her hood.
And it is definitely of sturdier material than her own like cowl that she, has around that's lightweight and meant to keep the sun off. So she absolutely puts that on. She's just like, I have never seen the sky this angry before. What did we do? And how do we make it better?
We don't do anything. It goes away. When you're angry, you know how like eventually your anger just kind of like fades away? It's like that, but with nature,
Okay.
So it gets better. If it helps, we could like, I don't know, do you want to like breathe or like find shelter somewhere?
No, breathing sounds great. I love breathing. I would like to keep breathing.
Yeah, but so like deep breath, but don't breathe in the water though.
As you say that, like this like large flash of light will happen, and then this like very like big crack of thunder will just go like and visibly shake the ship, and like the lightning struck the ocean near the ship.
Ooh.
So that's normal. Totally fine. Just think of it like the gods are having a great wrestling match, and that's basically what's happening. Just some wrestling. It's gonna be fine.
Okay. I believe you.
Yeah. Bad things don't typically happen to me. We're good.
Zalatesh is like running up. It's like, yes, but they do happen to me, as he like goes and starts like slipping across the deck trying to help out. Zolan, what are you doing?
We're gonna stay away from him.
Zolan's probably immediately heading up to the deck and just trying to make sure everything that can be secured is secured.
Nice.
Would be the main thing.
Including Zalatesh.
Probably including Zalatesh.
And yeah, you guys are able to weather the storm. About 2 hours of it will happen, and it'll be really rough seas for a while after that. But you're all able to make it through the storm pretty easily. However, after the storm, basically as things are becoming unsecured, Zolom and Calder, you guys find yourselves sort of untying the same large set of cargo that's been tied down.
What do you suppose is in this box?
Type of ship. Cargo of some sort. Could be food, goods, trade goods.
Aren't you a little curious? We could open it.
For what purpose?
Oh, to see if anything has water damage, of course.
You can probably tell that from the outside.
I don't know about that. Water's a tricky thing. It can get in just about anywhere.
These crates are made for that purpose.
This crate is soaking wet. I think we owe it to the people of this ship to see what's inside.
I'm not going to break it open.
Oh, no. Not break. Just open. Just the opening part.
I'm not going to stop you, but I'm not going to explain for you either.
All right, fair enough. I'm going to try and open it.
Yeah, you're able to pop it open. Inside is some extra rope and rigging, basically.
I'm gonna remake my net.
Yeah. Do you throw it over the edge?
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure it's like tied down so it doesn't get like you pulled over if it catches anything. But yeah, I'm throwing it on over.
Yeah, perfect. So as you do, you throw it on over. You feel it. You once again the net is like floating through the sea. At some point, it catches something, but the entire ship visibly pulls with it.
Zolam, you look big and strong. Come help me reel this in.
Yeah,
she's gonna try.
I guess I'll help.
All right. So yeah, the two of you together are able to like pull this thing up, And as you do, just like pulling it onto the deck, inside of the net is like this like 4 foot long, like massive catfish.
Yeah, we are eating good tonight. Ooh, I got my daddy's gumbo recipe.
And as it's kind of fluttering on the deck, do you pop open the net?
Yeah, because I gotta get the catfish out. Yeah. I make sure it's like pulled away from the side of the ship, so there's no chance of it like flopping over the side. But,
so you pull it away from the side of the ship. It's in the middle of the ship, and it's flopping. And as you open up the net, it shoots some water into your face.
I'm gonna try to pin it.
What?
I'm gonna try to pin it.
Okay.
In for a penny, in for a pound at this point.
Make a strength check.
I help. I assist. You have advantage.
Make a strength check.
Would it be just strength, or would it be athletics?
I'll say athletics. The DC is like 15. Hey, so yeah, you're able to wrestle this catfish. The snake versus catfish is happening on the deck of this ship.
I didn't know until now, but I've always wanted to watch this, a snake versus catfish.
Rolanda, go get the chef.
Boulain comes running up. That is the biggest. I will get the oven running. And they run downstairs.
Oh, Calder is just pleased as a peach.
And yeah, that night you guys are going to have catfish, as eventually the catfish runs out of water air. Runs out of breath, I guess, and just, dies, as fish do out of water.
I'll put it out of its misery. I got a rapier. I can just kind of like through the eye. It's fine.
Fair enough.
That way he's not suffering.
The chef kind of comes. He'll take it downstairs. And it's been a pretty calm day. And yeah, you guys have catfish that night. And for breakfast the next morning. And for lunch the next day. And for dinner the next night.
And it's delicious every fucking time.
Yeah, it's fresh every time. It's nice. During that sort of like last meal, the last two kind of finish up there are Calder and Adenia. Mm-hmm. Sitting now at the table as well is Mirisk, and he's just sitting there. And he's just like, okay, I think I'm getting this. And then the ship heaves him, and he's like, oh no, I'm not getting this.
Oh,
if you bark from my catfish, I will kill you.
I believe it.
Have you seen Boulain about your seasickness?
Boulain pokes their head out from like their little curtain area. I've tried all of the drugs I have. They do not work.
Yeah.
I believe it is psychosomatic. And he kind of goes back. The two of you, perhaps distraction. Are you perhaps familiar with the gods of the world?
Vaguely.
Didn't have much of an education growing up.
Yeah, same.
Are you interested in treasure?
I am interested in treasure.
Treasure?
Yes. Treasure?
Yeah.
Treasure?
You just hear Lucky pop out. Yes, treasures. Legendary treasures that the gods can have in their trials, in fact. Lucky, you know where my room is. There's a map on the desk if you want to bring it out here.
Sure. Yeah. I go to the room and I grab the map.
Yeah, you place it onto the table, and it's just like a map of this area of Maltaire, specifically the continent of Caladeia, which is what this continent is called. And basically throughout the map are like little X's with circles around them. These are all known trials that have yet to be completed. When people complete these trials, they are granted abilities from the gods that they're on their calling, as you can only access them while you're on your calling. You're also granted sometimes magical items and treasures. This one, and he points to one just north of Grimgully in this sort of like swamp area, is known to be a sort of library. Once you complete the trial there, you're able to take a single book.
Does this map look familiar to the one that I have?
Yeah, it's the same.
X's?
It's the same map that you have, actually. None of the X's are the same except for one.
Interesting.
The one X is the same is actually once again right near Peelhearth. It's one that's right there.
Right.
Just on the edge of the swamp in the plains land.
Got it. Taking note of that.
Do you ask him any questions about it?
Yes. What kind of treasure?
Well, it depends on the... depends on the trial. As I said, the one up here near Grimgully provides a book and some knowledge.
What do you know about this trial particularly, as I point to the one next to Philhearth?
That one, I believe... And you notice, like, the more he talks about it, the more he's becoming refined. That one, I believe, was related... He, like, goes through a book he has on his side. That one's actually yet to be completed.
Interesting.
You mean nobody's ever finished it before?
No one on their calling has ever successfully finished it before. Now, granted, some of these trials can kill people, so perhaps that's not a good sign, but... I mean, it would certainly have all of its loot intact.
Do you know what the trial consists of?
Like I said, no one's completed that one, so there's no accounts on it.
No one survived it, you mean?
Well, no one's
Like
completed it and said, hey, this is what this trial is.
Okay.
Well, consider my curiosity piqued.
Certainly use the gifts you would receive after completing one.
Yeah.
Zolam, as you're kind of hearing this, like, the area kind of correlates to what the area you were told about in your vision as well.
He's, like, been around, but he hasn't been partaking in the conversation.
Yeah.
But is listening intently.
And then, yeah, he'll continue to basically go through a bunch of the different trials that he's researched and, like, what they're like. He'll talk about one of the ones that he found and had heard about in Dervamorn, the continent to the northwest of the area you guys are going to be going to. He'll talk about how it's mostly like in a snowy plain area, and how this one's actually at the foot of a dragon nest that is been abandoned, and by abandoned he means slaughtered.
Slaughtered.
Wow.
What exactly?
It was a white dragon nest that was killed by dragon hunters.
Oh.
Well, that's terrible.
How active are dragon hunters in Peelhearth, just out of curiosity?
In this area, not very. The white dragon nest that was proving a problem over there was hunted because some of the younger white dragons were hunting some of the human villages around the area.
Yeah. Alright, that checks out.
The most dangerous game, as they say. And as, like, then, like, the boat will lurch again. He's like, I'm going back to my room. Scoops up his stuff. Walks away.
Thank you.
No worries.
For the best.
It was a good distraction.
I think Adenia at some point, if you have your cards out, you notice Calder, like, watching intently and curiously from across the table.
She would absolutely have them out at some point along this journey.
Yeah.
Several points along this journey, I should say. Are you curious?
Yeah, what on earth are you playing? Is it like a poker game?
Not quite, though. I am good at that too. No, these cards. Well, they're tarot cards. They provide guidance.
Huh. Like,
Do they like tell you what's gonna happen?
In a sense, they don't necessarily predict the future, but they do help clarify a path.
so if I had, I don't know, some sort of something or other that I needed to know what to do with, could I ask a card and it would tell me?
Yes, potentially. Do you have a question that you would like to ask?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I sure do. I open up my handy haversack where I have the Drake egg and just like hold it out to Adenia and be like, now what in the Sam hell am I supposed to do with this?
Lucky you'll see a dragon egg. A drake egg, sorry.
You just carry that around with you?
Sure do.
That's okay. It sure is. Well, go ahead and ask your question. What the hell are you supposed to do with that, right?
Yeah, that's the one.
Draw a card for it. That's the same card. Hold on.
Oh, I deleted it. I
Oh, you deleted it. Well then, it's the Emperor once more. This is the Empire Strikes Back.
Apparently.
So, in this case, I would say that this card represents becoming a parent and a protector to this egg.
Those funky little cards are on the nose. It is not quite the specifics of what I was looking for, but I mean, I'll be damned. They're not wrong.
Never lie.
So does that mean that like Calder's gonna like have a pet egg around, just hanging around?
I suppose that means we're not eating it.
No, probably not. You do hear like genuine disappointment in her voice.
I'm sorry, the snake person wanting to eat the egg is just funny to me. I'm sorry.
Is it fragile, Calder?
I don't think so. I kind of give it like a tentative.
I want to say it cracks a little bit, but I'm not evil. It's like an ostrich egg. It's like an ostrich egg type of thickness, so it's like a hardy, sturdy egg.
I have it wrapped in my blankets just in case, and it's in the haversack, so it's not getting jostled too bad.
You're not going to get in trouble for having that, though, are you?
Oh, I sure as shit could. Especially if
that,
there's dragon hunters.
Raylonda walks down. Ah, trouble! Exactly what we're doing this evening. In fact, we have a little bit of a soiree ready upstairs since we know we're going to be hitting landfall soon. We want to see you all off properly, and I have some spell slots left, as does our doctor. It's like, yes. And they kind of like bring you guys up to the deck of the ship where like lights have been like little like candle lights have been strung up. And there's like casks of ale and things like that have been set out, like a really nice sort of like party spread. It's like, but what is any party without music? And with that, Bolane will kind of like do some clerical magic, and several small horn archons will appear and begin playing music, like angelic sort of party music.
Is it like spiritual guardians? Spiritual bardians?
Yes, basically. And then Raylandra will do some summoning, and a number of pixies will come out.
Cute.
It's like, yes.
Adorable.
Oh, thank you for the villain point, Matt.
That was for the pun, wasn't it?
Thank you for the
Let's
villain
pay it
point,
back.
Jebinov. And so, let me ask you all something. You're at a party on the deck of a ship. There's pixies flying around, randomly giving people the ability to fly. There is archons playing music. What's everyone getting up to?
Oh, absolutely dancing.
Denia has taken to the dance floor, and they are rocking it. Raylandra is joining you and is like twirling you around and doing like very playful dancing with you.
I'm gonna first of all get absolutely schmacked on that ale. At least a good cup or two, and then I'm gonna join the dancing, see if I can't get like a line dance or something going.
A line dance on sea.
Why not?
Why not? Yeah, that can happen.
It's a cruise ship. Why not?
Lucky, what are you getting up to?
Well, I don't know if you can, you're supposed to drink and fly at the same time. So I want to fly first because that's something that I think she would want to do. And then get schmacked on ale. Priorities,
One of the fairies will grant you the ability to fly. You'll have it for an hour. And it's sort of like just like the power of mind. You like think up, you go up.
Cool. I want to like fly around and like do the whole, when you tap someone's shoulder and then you disappear and you go to the other shoulder. I want to do that.
You'd like to do the Peter Pan?
Yes.
Make me a stealth check to see how well you Peter Pan.
Okay. All right. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Don't be suspicious.
You succeed at not being suspicious. Yeah, you managed to Peter Pan a couple of people.
Lovely. And then I'll get schmacked.
Perfect. It's an apple brandy that's been brought out. It's very nice. Adenia, you're dancing.
Yep.
You see, as you're dancing, you'll notice that Murisk is actually even up here. He's on a chair in the corner reading a book. Zolam, what are you getting up to?
The first thing he would do is once he's aware of these bears giving people the ability to fly, his tail is wrapped around the mast of the ship.
Okay.
Because that could be a very big problem.
That's very
true.
Once he's so far off the deck, he would not know where he was.
That's very true.
And once he's secured, then he'll partake in like the drinks and food. And of course, any food, he's just like whole. It's just tossing
a
him,
couple
tossing
of the
him whole.
crewmen will actually bring like a whole turkey,
It's gone.
and they'll just like hold it up.
Just completely distended jaw down.
It's like Tiny comes over. Oh, you look like you can eat a lot. Do you want to have a little bit of an eating contest then?
Sure.
All right. Then let's get going. Lucky walks over to 2 tables, drags them over. First one to finish off a table.
Have at it.
My money's on Zalam for sure.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. And Lucky starts going to town on the table. What are you going to do?
I mean, I guess the best method would really just to be open the jaw up and just go along the top of the table.
Just like...
And just got the hands just...
I love it. Yeah, so like as Tiny's like just grabbing, like he literally takes an entire ham in his hand and just puts it in his mouth and chewing. You just see Zolam slithering across the table with their mouth open, just like eating up all the food, leaving the plates.
Iconic.
And like as Zolam's getting towards the end of the table, you see Tiny like visibly panicking because it looks like he's going to lose. So the Tiny picks up the table and just opens his mouth and starts like.
See, the funny thing is Naga actually have a ability where I can use my hands and move quicker.
then he just his own speed
chaos.
up, and it ends up being Zolam wins the eating contest.
And then I need sleep.
Wait.
Just to like wrap around the mast and then just sleep there.
This is the most chaotic thing I've ever experienced.
And yeah, the party continues throughout the night. Players, do you have any scenes that you'd like to do with each other at the party? Or would you like to move on to the next stuff?
I think Adenia would want to approach Lucky at some point and just thank her for helping keep her calm.
Oh, of course. Yeah, it's no biggie. I have 2 twin siblings, so, it's okay. I'm good. No problem.
I appreciate it a lot. It's a lot of new experiences for me, and to be honest, I don't have a lot of friends, so this was nice.
Well, you have one now, and feel free to come into my room, I guess, if you start getting scared or sick or something. Just I don't do good with throw up, so we might have to find a line.
I think I'll be okay. I'm not. Looks at Marask.
He's just he's trying to keep food down, but he's just like, nope. And upon seeing the sight of the eating contest, he's even more visibly sick. And at one point, he's just the book closes. He puts it into his pack, and he just falls out of the chair onto the side of the deck, passing out. He's just close the book and fetal position.
Yeah, as long as you're not that, we're good.
I am a highly respected elf back home.
I think Calder has gotten to that drunken point in the night, where she's starting to do a drunk girl shit. She's making a flower crown out of rope. And I feel like her and Raylanda are on the same level of drunkenness, making flower crowns. Calder's tying little flower knots in little circles and being like, you are so good at what you do, and look at how cute that is on you with your little bandanas.
Raylanda kind of starts touching. It's oh, you're very good with rope. Here you go. So she starts to flower crown up a thing, puts it down. It's normally I'm the person doing the tying of knots like this, but I could get used to this.
Well, everyone needs a hand with some stuff sometime. Do we have more ale? Is it a bad idea to drink more
I have
ale?
a private stash.
It's a bad idea.
I have a private stash if you're interested.
I would be very interested in your pirate straff.
We are very
private
drunk.
staff. Yeah, we are. Calder forgets that she's already made a rope flower crown and starts making another one.
Oh yeah, she'll lead you down towards the galley. She'll open up a hidden floorboard and pull out this big bottle of whiskey, and be like, all right, we're going back into port, so let's see if we can finish this tonight, eh?
Absolutely.
And
cheers. Bottoms up.
Bottoms up. And you guys have a drunken night of revelry. The next morning, y'all wake up. Calder, y'all wake up wherever you want to wake up. Zalome, you wake up on the deck of the ship. After food coma, Tiny's kind of pulling off a blanket he put on you and folding it up. He's like, "Oh, you look like you passed out. Didn't want you to get you a cold, so I put a little bit of a blanket on you over there."
Of course, it covered one section of his 20-foot long body.
Yes, it's a tiny blanket.
Oh no!
Oof.
No. None of that.
Miras kind of knocks on your door, Lucky, in the morning.
I go to open it.
I'm very sorry for the sight you saw last night. I'm going back to my room now. And he walks off.
Okay. It's fine.
Knocks on Adenia's door.
Yes?
I'm very sorry for this. I'm going away now. He walks off. And yeah. You guys make it to port. The crew kind of all says their goodbyes to y'all. Ty's like, oh, I hope you enjoyed your time here on my ship. I tend to dock all over the place, so if you're ever looking for a ship and you want to come sail with us again, please let me know.
Will do.
If I ever have to get on a ship again,
yes, if you ever do,
at least trust this one.
Oh, well, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. And Tiny goes and does the tiny two-handed, big-handed handshake to each of you. And he gets back on the ship and they start sailing off. At that moment, Zalatesh kind of walks away for a moment and says, I'll be right back, just grabbing the cart. And he comes back with this large sort of horse-drawn cart. There are 2 horses pulling it. There's a seat. There are 2 seats in the front. And then 4 seats in the back, one of which is taken up by cargo. And yeah. He asks if anyone wants to sit up front with him.
Yeah, sure. I'll sit up front. I can help navigate, probably.
And then yeah, you guys will begin your journey on land. Now, because this is your first journey on land, I would like one of you to volunteer to roll me a D100.
Ooh, I love that stuff.
Yeah, let Rose do it. Rose is super lucky.
Roll me a D100, Rose. And let's see what you get.
Okay. Now I do have to ask, because we roll in the roll 20, how
so just type in chat /roll 1D100.
Slash 1D100?
Yep, 1D100.
Ah?
You have to put a space. I apologize.
Oops.
And it's /roll, not roll/.
Oops. Wait, can I just do...
You can also use
that?
On the
yes,
side.
you can.
Yeah.
72.
Yeah, I was like, that's way easier.
So, 72. As you are traveling during one of the days, you're going to see a party of young travelers. They're a bunch of humans that are walking down the road. They're kind of waving as they pass by. A couple of them are basically, one of them has this lovely braided hair. It's almost shining in the sunlight. It's a beautiful blonde braid with these sort of brunette bangs. And then there's another human male in there who has this very noble looking outfit on. He has this short coif hair with a ponytail. And then they have a couple other companions with them that are pretty nondescript. And as you guys are riding past, they kind of wave to you all and say, hello.
Howdy.
May you travel well.
Same to you.
Yeah. And then eventually, after another couple of days of travel, you make it that evening to Peelhearth. And as you guys approach the city, the town, that is where we will stop for the night. So everyone, thank you so much for coming out to our party building sort of RP session. Next week, we'll start the campaign proper with our party's arrival to Peelhearth. Otherwise, don't forget to check out the League of Amazing Adventurers on Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. CST, 9 p.m. CST, 7 p.m. PST. Tomorrow night, we have our anime podcast during the exact same time slot at 9 p.m. CST, 7 p.m. PST. On Sunday, during the evening, I'll be playing some more Dragon Age. And then join us next Friday for this game. So once again, everyone, thank you so much for coming down tonight. Players, let's go down with McKenna. Where can they find you on the internet? And do you have anything cool coming up?
I am McKenna Ray Art on Instagram and TikTok. Instagram has more of my nice things that I'm really proud of, and TikTok has more of my works in process. So if you want to see any of the character tokens that were featured on this show tonight, if you want to see them being drawn and being made, you can go and watch that. And that is at McKenna Ray Art on TikTok.
Perfect. Monaja, where can we find you on the internet? Do you have anything cool coming up?
Yeah, so I am at the Monaja Smith on Instagram. That's pretty much where I do most of everything. I actually do have a women's showcase coming up tomorrow featuring a bunch of amazing women. It goes live on YouTube at the Cabaret Corner at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you go on my Instagram, you'll find it, but I also put it in here. Please feel free to check out and support women.
Mm-hmm.
You'd love to see it. Rosalie, where can we find you on the internet?
Sure. I am on Instagram at Rosalie Alyssa. There you can find some of my art that I make every now and then. And then on Twitter at Rosalie Dirk.
Perfect. And then chat?
I don't really have a whole lot of a general internet presence, though that may change in the future.
All right, then perfect then. Everyone, please don't forget to come check out our other shows. Don't forget to follow if you haven't already followed. Like, subscribe, and comment if you're watching on YouTube. Otherwise, I'm going to get a raid going, and we will see you all on the next one. We're going to raid Super Dylan. She is a D&D self-publisher. She's made Neverland as a setting. It's a very cool setting. Otherwise, thank you so much for coming down. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
I have that book.
Bye, guys. Thank you.